to another unboxing video. This one is for Tonic Craft Kit number 27, which is called the Fairy Frame kit, and it's got some gorgeous fairy, foliagey, like woodland, magical kind of themed things inside it, which will be great for feminine and masculine cards as well, and it's perfect for this like autumnal time of year too. So let's get into the unboxing. So, one thing you probably noticed straight away from me opening the box is they've gone more eco-friendly with their packaging. So instead of having a big piece of bubble wrap keeping all of your products safe inside, we've now got a brown paper bag, which is just keeping everything together for you, which I think is really great as well. And it does keep everything exactly where it's supposed to be in the box too, which is brilliant. So, inside this lovely big brown bag, let me just tip it all out. We've got loads of goodies in here, and actually, that brown bag, you could stamp all over that and create your own like wrapping paper and like wrap some presents in it, like with some of the stamps and stuff in this kit. I think that would look really good. Okay, so inside that brown envelope, we have got some Nouveau products, obviously. Let's go through the Nouveau first. So, the first item is a tiny little dream drop. So we've had, in this square-shaped bottle, we've had a vintage drop before, we had a stone drop last month, and now we've got a baby little dream drop, and very appropriate colour as well. It's the fairy wings colour, which when we go through the die set, you'll see exactly why that is very appropriate, having fairy wings. I do really love this colour. This colour, if you use it on black or dark cardstock, it comes out a really lovely pinky purple tone as well. I really love the dream drops, the way they are different on black and white card, and I have a whole video about techniques that you can do with dream drops. I mean, obviously this is a small bottle, so you wouldn't want to do like some of the larger techniques, but it gives you a little taster to see if you like the effect of them, and you'll know if you want to invest in any more of them. So we have that. Then we also have another drop. We have this one, which is called Pink Champagne, a gorgeous glittery drop. That's not looking very pink on my camera, but it is a gorgeous, a pinky purple, I suppose. But yeah, or a reddy pink, maybe, reddy pink. Really lovely colour though, I do really like this one. Okay, then we also get a little baby pot of Glacier paste as well, which is really cool. Because we had one little pot before, didn't we? We had Sea Sprite. We had Sea Sprite before, and now we have Green Envy. So another little pot of Green Envy. This pot goes really far, actually. You know, there's actually quite a lot of product in there, especially with the Glacier paste. It doesn't dry very 3D, so I like to use it in more flat applications, and so you obviously don't need that much of it, so it really does go a long way. I've got my big pot here, so I could show you what it looks like, because there's no point opening the small one if I've already got this one open. But you can see there, it's green, and then it's got like silver mica flakes inside it, and if you spread that onto your card like with a piece of cut and dry foam, you get like all the mica flakes sort of lay flat, and you get a really cool effect with it. I haven't done an up-close video on them just because I haven't had enough time to, but there is an up-close video that I have done where I did show them briefly, but I haven't edited that one yet. But eventually I'll have some videos on Glacier paste. Then we also get a set of Nouveau alcohol pens in the Cookies and Cream. A really lovely neutral set of pens with 3 shades of brown, which is going to be perfect for colouring in some of the stamps from this set, or adding colour to some of the dies actually as well, because it's all sort of foliage and twiggy and stuff, so you could cut them out of white card or a lighter colour of card and add some colour. And the colours are called Garlic Clove, Brown Sugar and Coconut Shell. Really lovely selection of colours. And they look like they're quite far between, but actually sometimes when you're shading it's quite nice to have a a variation between the colours, because you can get really good like depth in the shadows. And if you do have trouble getting a blend between them, I recommend working on a glass cutting mat and then scribbling down a little bit of the darker colour onto your glass cutting mat and picking it up with the lighter colour, and that way it kind of automatically gives you a sort of ombre blend as this ink runs off of the tip of this pen. So that's just a tip for blending two colours that seem far apart. Then we also get a Nouveau glitter marker. This one is Sweet Apricot, which came out with the Dreaming colour trend. I've got my one here, like my one that I've been using, so I'll show you what the colour looks like. And I've done quite a few videos, especially in these kit unboxings, where I show you how to activate your glitter markers, and I think I did a top tips video or something on how to activate them. But when you get them, they have a sort of creamy coloured tip, and the way I like to activate them is I put the lid back on, shake it so everything's mixed up in there, and then you want to press the nib down, hold it down for like 30 seconds or more, and then release it, and you should start to see the colour wicking into the tip. And then I just put the lid back on and shake it again, and then you might have to repeat that step, but then the whole nib will become glittery and the orange colour. So that's how you activate one of those. Then we also get more washi tape. So in a previous kit, I can't remember the number of it, but we got this set of washi tape, which was called Blue Night. But now we have this gorgeous canola field one, and it goes perfectly with the sort of fairy theme, especially this central one, and the sort of autumnal colours of leaves and stuff as well. And the 3 different patterns, I'll just rip a piece off and put them on the back of that piece of white card so you can see them. So we have 2 patterns and 1 solid colour. I mean, you can use this for holding your dies down. It is a really nice low tack washi tape for holding your dies down, but I just think they're too pretty to use for that. So I will be using these in some of my card making videos. I've got 3 videos planned, so hopefully I'll get them all done and the videos up for you by the end of the month as well. But those are the 3 designs of washi tape, and you can see there, if you stick them onto white card, you really see the pattern, but they are translucent a little bit, so if you put them onto like craft, they're going to look slightly different. They are quite opaque. Usually it's a bit more translucent than that, designs, but it does make a bit of a difference if you put a different colour underneath. So it's kind of, well, let me just show you next to each other. See if we can see it. Yeah, we can see the difference. Yeah, so they are a bit translucent. So if you put it onto white, you really get the true pattern, and if you put it onto another colour, you'll kind of see a little bit of the colour coming through. So those are the washi tapes. Then we also get a pack of their foam pads as well. Well, it's their inch square foam pads, or 25mm, and they are 2mm thick, which is a really nice depth for foam tape or foam pads as well. Can't really see it, but yeah, they're really good, they're foam pads, and having the larger size is great because one, if you're using them on a bigger area, you don't have to fiddle around with all the tiny little backings, but 2, if you want them for a smaller area, you can just cut them with your scissors. And especially the scissors we got in last month's kit, actually, they have that non-stick coating on them, so they'd be perfect for cutting up your foam pads and using them. Then we also get the Tonic Craft Kit binder. So this we get every 3 or 4 kits to keep all of our little wallets inside, and it keeps them all organised on your shelf. I actually, the shelf I use to store mine on is the Gnedby one from IKEA. It's supposed to be for CDs, like a CD tower one, but obviously you can change the heights of the shelves so they're not just the height of a CD one, and you can make it so it fits perfectly, these folders, and it fits 5 in each shelf, which is really nice, so I just thought I'd share that. So that is the folder as well. Then we get cardstock, and and we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 sheets of cardstock. I've got the website up so I can tell you the actual names of them. I'm going to try and put them in the right order so that it's easier for me to read them. Okay, oh that's not quite the right order. There we go. Okay, so this one is olive green classic card, which has that weave texture on one side and then it is smooth on the other. Then we have Champagne, which is another one of their classic cards, which again is textured on one side and then smooth on the other. We've got a piece of satin mirror card, which it doesn't want to focus on, which is called Pink Chiffon. Sorry, that's really not focusing very nicely. And then we have Pearlescent card, which is called Gleaming Lilac. And their Pearlescent card has that gorgeous sheen to it, and it is double-sided as well. So it's great for when you're going to be seeing both sides of the card in a project. And then we have a speciality card, which is the Champagne Harlequin. I do really love this one. I love that quilted kind of a look that it's got to it, and it's just a gorgeous creamy colour. Then we have a cotton specialty paper. This one is called Falling Glitter, and it's got really pronounced squares in it actually. Those squares are really like nice and embossed onto the paper. And then we have the Opulent Orchid glitter card, which is really pretty. It's almost got like blue tones in there as well. And their glitter card is the kind of stuff that, you know, you get like 1 or 2 specks of glitter coming off of it, but it feels like glitter still. It hasn't got that plastic coating on it, but not too much of it comes off on your hands, if any, really. And it die cuts nicely too, which is brilliant. So that is the cardstock. Then we have the dies and stamps as well. So this is the sticker. The sticker says, create something magical every day, and it's got some of the actual designs from the kit on there as well. I think this fairy looks like Tinkerbell. You actually get her in a die too, so that's a gorgeous little sticker. Then we have the stamp set, where we have 3 stamped sentiments that will go perfectly with the whole theme of the kit. Wishing you a magical day, your enchanting and best wishes as well, which is always a good one, because you can always add on your birthday underneath that. You can have best wishes on your birthday. Or you could even chop off the word day and add birthday onto wishing you a magical, and then it could be magical birthday. You know, with other stamps or Dymo label that you have in your stash. Then you get this gorgeous mushroom or toadstool. I really love that one. I've got I'm definitely going to be using that on a couple of cards in a couple of my videos. You've got an acorn, which is really sweet as well, and then you've got a kind of pine cone down the bottom too, which will be perfect for all of those autumnal kind of cards as well. And then we have these two, which look a little bit odd. They're actually the veins for the leaves that we have in the die set. So I've already put my dies on a magnetic sheet this time, and these are the 2 leaves. So you can see how they line up perfectly, so once you've die cut the leaf, you can stamp on the vein detail to really make them look a bit more 3D. And I think maybe cutting these leaves out of just like printer paper that you've added colour to as well, and then stamping the leaves on them and like scrunching them, I think that would look really cool. So those are the stamps, and those are the coordinating dies that go with those 2 vein stamps. Then the rest of the die set, I really like this die set. It's a similar kind of concept to the mermaid ones, and I always think it was called Pretty Posies and the Floral Affections. It's all that kind of stuff where they all sort of fit inside each other, and it gives you so much versatility with what you can do with the die set as well. But the accent dies that we get this gorgeous fairy, which I think looks like Tinkerbell, and then we get this fairy that can be sitting on the toadstool from the stamps. So she would be sitting that way around. So she fits absolutely perfectly on top of that toadstool with her feet coming down the side of it. Then we also have this gorgeous little tatty flower, which I think is really sweet. You could do a complete background with that if you wanted to, and another little extra flower which you could then cut multiples of and add them onto the sort of wreathy element that's inside the main part of the die set. And we also have this one, which is kind of like ivy and vines and stuff. So this could be anywhere where you want to hide a mistake that you've made maybe, or just to make this frame element look a little bit more bushy and three-dimensional. Or you could even use it, you could cut this maybe 3 times and create a different circular element or oval element for your card, for your fairy or your toadstool to fit inside of as well. And then we have this whole big die set in the centre, which I think is going to be really, really useful. And I really love this central one. It's actually got little mushrooms in it. So there's tiny little mushrooms down here, and like vines hanging down and like twigs coming in from the trees and stuff. And this one, if you cut this one out, it's gonna stay in your card and cut the centre out, so you can make a really cool shaker card behind that. Or you could have the mushroom with the fairy sitting on it, or you could have extra little flowers coming up. You could add the extra flowers on the top of it, and you can even combine it with all of the other outside dies as well. And you've got the plain edge, so you could just cut that out too if you want to. I mean, cutting it with the plain edge circle and then adding another one with the detail cut in on top, you could create a tag with it too then, and just stamp the sentiment in the centre, and then maybe have the fairy flying over the top with the stamped sentiment there. I think that would look lovely. Then, so as well as that sort of main central portion of the die set, you then have the plain edged circles. You've got 2 of them with another intricate piece that will go in between, which is a similar kind of idea to this ivy kind of one, where you've got sort of a few leaves and that kind of looks like an acorn leaf and vine sort of elements inside it. And then finally we have the very outside edge, which has loads of twiggy elements, which is what I was saying about your pens. If you cut this from like a white card or a light brown card or something, you could add a little bit of shading and depth with the alcohol pens that you've got in the set as well. And it's got like little berry bits, so you could add your Nouveau drops onto the little berries. Really, really pretty. And obviously, because this is all completely verso, this, if you just cut this one, this piece in the centre would be solid. So you could just stamp anything in the centre of that. Any other stamps that you have from your stash, you could create a little scene using the mushrooms and the acorns, and then have the fairy flying in the top of the card. Loads of different things you can do with it, and so many different combinations of how you can put all of it together and everything. Because obviously you can cut that one solid, or you can cut it into a frame, or you can cut those 2 together without the outside edge, and then you can cut with that edge or without that edge, and like, so you could make a complete sort of wreath design, having the outside and that verso one and the inside without using any of the plain edge circles, and create a really thick kind of wreath design as well. So there's loads of different things you can do with this die set. And again, it doesn't have to be fairy themed. There's only the 2 fairies in the set. The rest of it's all kind of like naturey, I suppose woodlandy, because of the mushrooms and things. And I think mushrooms are often good for a masculine card as well, because you can do like all those punny sentiments like happy birthday to a fungi, and like thank you so much and things like that. Yeah, so loads of different things you can do with it. So I hope you enjoyed this unboxing of Tonic Craft Kit number 27. There's not really anything for me to like proper demo or construct for the end of this video, so there will just be 3 more of my sped up style videos, hopefully 3, of the card ideas that I've got planned for this die set, stamp set, and all the bits and pieces from the kit. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye!